I'm male 39, travel for work, and make good money. I've never been interested in settling down or having a family. I mostly work and take vacations. I don't own an apartment, much less a house. I live out of a backpack and a duffel bag. My brother, Victor, is the opposite. All he ever wanted since he was a kid was to have a perfect family. Our dad did the same kind of work I do, and Victor hated it. He was always closer to our mom than our dad. He married the first girl he dated after college, and they already had 2 kids. They're happy, and I love my brother and nephews. I spend a lot of my extra money on them because I have more than I need and I want them to have a great life. My brother became a teacher to spend more time with his wife and kids. I respect that, but he isn't well paid. His 30th birthday was coming up, and I decided to do something nice for his family. I checked with him when he and his wife had a free week this summer, and I got them a week away at Disney World. I also paid for my folks to go along to watch the kids and give him and his wife some time alone. His wife thinks I'm a scumbag because I refuse to get a girlfriend or have a serious relationship. I don't want that. I like meeting a woman at a resort or on a tour, spending a week together and then saying goodbye. It works for me. They don't want anything more from me that I'm willing to give. Because she thinks I'm a degenerate, womanizing, alcoholic dirtbag, she doesn't want me around her husband or children. So she ensured I knew I wasn't invited to my brother's birthday party at their house. I am seriously tired of her BS, so I canceled everything. I took my mom and dad on a golf vacation instead. I sent my brother a $100 gift card to a restaurant he liked. My sister-in-law found out from my parents what his original gift would be and has been contacting me, saying that I'm being an idiot taking away an experience like that from her family over a party invitation. I told her that she was the one who decided I wasn't good enough to be around her family, so my dirty money wouldn't be around her either. I told her not to bother me anymore. My folks are staying out of it, and my brother is too. He knows I don't owe him crap, and I just like to blow money on stupid gifts. Am I the idiot for not giving my brother and his wife the gift I got them, since she didn't want me at his birthday party? Not the idiot, but sis-in-law definitely is. If she doesn't want you because of your lifestyle, then she doesn't want your money, which funds your lifestyle, to taint her perfection. It's good that the family stays out of it, but you may have to decide how much you'll tolerate long-term to keep a relationship with your brother. I don't think it's good that the family's staying out of it, to be honest. OP's brother should be standing up for him. It's his birthday party, and he's the one who decides who gets to come. OP, why did your brother okay your exclusion from his party? Honestly, he's the real idiot here for not standing up for you, regardless of what kind of present you might bring. She has no right to comment on how you live your life. It's yours to live. She has no right to keep you away from your brother or your nephews. Judging from this reaction for sister-in-law, this would lead to an enormous fight that OP's brother absolutely would not win, and he'd be in the doghouse for about a year. You did well. She cannot expect you to pay for gifts and not invite you to the birthday party. I believe your sister-in-law is insecure and afraid that your brother will see your lifestyle and become jealous of your freedom and ability to hook up. I feel sorry for your brother, but his wife created this issue, not you. My son, 22, recently graduated college, and I let him move back in for free while he looks for an actual job. I don't expect any rent out of him, as I want him to save up for when he moves out. He's currently a server at a safari cafe in our local zoo. Now, my son had a great work ethic in school. He graduated cum laude with a STEM, science, technology, engineering, or mathematics degree, but now he doesn't. He frequently comes home upset about annoyances with his job and customers. He himself has told me that he only does enough to get by, and he always comes home exhausted after a shift. He constantly complains about things that are small issues, and it leaves me annoyed as it comes across as him being spoiled and entitled. He complains about his hours, which are less than 40 hours a week, complains about how hot it is outside, and whines that he doesn't get a lunch break when he again works at a restaurant and isn't working a full 8-hour shift. Recently, he came home angry about another issue. He, of course, offloaded it onto me and told me that his manager scheduled him for 12 days straight, starting after his next off day. This apparently compensated for a few servers returning to college and his restaurant being short-staffed. I told him to look at the bright side. He would be making overtime on his next check, and he'd get more tables, which means he'd get more tips. He told me that he wanted his weekends. I reminded him that all he does on his weekends is sit in his room playing his PlayStation, and that he's better off making more money. I told him that he was acting like a spoiled brat who was afraid of doing some extra work, and that when I was in the military, I sometimes worked 16-hour shifts for 4 weeks straight with no off days, and 12 days isn't that long. He told me that he still didn't want to, and that he was likely going to speak to his manager about it the next time he was there. I advised him against it, and he said he just didn't want to work for 12 days straight. I told him he doesn't work, he just has a job. He takes orders and brings out food. Sure, it's hot outside, and he has to walk a bit, but he's not doing any actual work, and he can call it work when he has a serious job. But for now, he's better off just going to his job and raking in a little extra money to walk back and forth from tables and talk to people. He decided he didn't have anything to say back and stormed off. The next day, his older sister called me to tell me that I should apologize. Apparently, he was hurt by what I said, and she felt I owed him an apology and that I was wrong to minimize his feelings. I told her that he's a grown man and he can approach me and demand an apology if he so chooses, but if he can't defend his laziness, I won't be apologizing. Am I the idiot? I told him that he doesn't work, he just has a job. LOL, what? He's dealing with rude customers and bratty kids in the hot summer sun. That's work. It's not a career that we would want, but it is a job. You are the idiot, and you do owe him an apology. When I was in the military, I sometimes worked 16-hour shifts for 4 weeks straight. Tell me more about walking uphill to school in the snow, Grandpa. Seriously, he doesn't like his job. It's not what he went to school for. I can tell that from here. OP, a huge idiot. 12 shifts straight as a server is brutal. A lot of states don't even allow that. OP's son has every right to talk to his manager. Sir, go get a job in food service or customer service and tell us if it is or isn't working. If your son is trading labor for money, then he works. If you think it's so easy, why don't you help out by going and applying for a vacant server position? Then he won't have to work 12 days in a row. And since it's not work, you won't mind just letting him have your paycheck and tips, right? People like you infuriate me. To be honest, you look down on people working jobs you feel are beneath you or them and make them feel like crap because of your bias. Your son deserves better, and you should grow up. My sister is allergic to cats, the way people are allergic to tomatoes but have no problem eating salsa. Growing up, my parents never let me get a cat because she was allergic. So the first thing I did when I got my own place was rescue a cat. My cat, Jonathan, is a complete idiot in every way. He's aloof and only deigns to accept scratches on his own terms. He also hates all humans besides my boyfriend and me. It's the only reason I got with my boyfriend. He's Jonathan approved. Whenever we have someone over, Jonathan stays in his room. He allows me to sleep in his room, and his litter box is in the ensuite. My sister needed a place to stay for a week when she came to interview with a couple of different companies. My parents asked me to put her up, and I agreed. I work from home, so Jonathan lounged around all day, and when my sister got to the house, he would retreat. We had a nice visit, and she took us out for a very nice dinner as a thank you. She got offered one of the jobs, and she asked if she could rent one of my spare rooms for a month or two until she found her own place. I said yes, but she would have to get used to Jonathan being around because he usually likes to lay around the whole house. She was surprised because my boyfriend doesn't live with me, and his name is Trevor. I said Jonathan was my cat. She said I shouldn't get a cat if she's staying with me And I laughed and said that Jonathan's been living with me for 2 years now. She went crying to my stepdad that I had exposed her to a cat, and now she's breaking out in hives and blah blah blah. Our mom says I should have told her I had a cat. I said that I didn't live with them anymore, and I didn't have to cater to my sister's BS anymore. I was happy to host her, and I'd be happy to rent her a room. I wouldn't put up with her fake attention-seeking allergy anymore. Edit. My grandparents have cats, and when my mom needed a babysitter, she would leave us with them. Absolutely no problem whatsoever. No antihistamines for my sister or anything, and no hives. No watery eyes, nothing. Because my grandmother wouldn't put up with her crap either, she didn't want me to get a cat because I'm allergic to dogs, so we couldn't get a family dog. My mom and her dad humored her to keep the peace. Not the idiot. As a person with terrible allergies, I hate when people use it as they please. Come on, if she was allergic to cats, she would have broken up in hives about 10 minutes after entering the house. The fact that she didn't see a cat doesn't mean there isn't any of his hair or dandruff all over the house, lol. So that proves she was BSing you the whole time. And I was floored with you shouldn't get a cat, living separately as an adult, because your sister has an allergy. Wow, the entitlement. If you're nice enough to offer a place to stay, then she had better accept your family without complaint. If she doesn't want to be around Jonathan for valid or fabricated reasons, she'll have to stay in a hotel or elsewhere. People who don't like cats are in contempt. If she stays with you, Jonathan will get out when you're not home mysteriously. Everyone's the idiot here. Regardless of allergies or anything else, guests should always be informed of animals living in the house. It is absolutely an idiot thing to do to the person, and potentially an idiot thing to do to the pet. Sometimes people don't have an allergy, but a sensitivity. Just because someone doesn't go into anaphylactic shock doesn't mean it can't be uncomfortable or unpleasant. I'm slightly allergic to dairy. If I eat it a lot, then I'm going to have problems, but I still have some here and there. No problem. So I've been lucky enough to work at my father's company after college and make good money for my age, 27. I've been dating my current girlfriend for 4 years at this point, and have been paying for most of our shared bills, like rent and amenities, solely because I make like 10 times what she makes, and it would be unfair for her to have to pay above her means because I want to live a certain lifestyle. I've never been good with saving money, to be honest, but it's never really been a problem. However, recently, my girlfriend has been nagging me about how I spend my money. I was pretty moody that day and ended up lashing out, and the argument ended with me saying she could start telling me what to do with my own money when she started paying her fair share. Now she seems really hurt, even though I assured her that I don't really care about how much she earns and that I just misspoke in anger. Am I the idiot for telling my girlfriend she can start telling me how to manage my money when she starts paying the bills? Edit. I work in construction, and my degree is in finance. If I continue my current spending, I can live on my savings for 2 months. If I spend more conservatively, I could probably make it last 6. You are the idiot. You're in this position by nepotism. You're a golden child who's probably overpaid because you're daddy's boy. Congrats on that achievement. It sounds like she has a more realistic view of money and wants to help you get a grip on your finances. By your own admission, you're bad at saving money and accustomed to a certain lifestyle. There are no securities in life. It wouldn't hurt to plan ahead and be safe. Her nagging may very well be her looking out for you. I second this. OP, you are the idiot. Get off your high horse and save money like your girlfriend wisely suggested. Apologize to her, and don't use this card with people. Just because she and other people make less money doesn't mean they have no idea about finances. You got lucky working for your rich father, but life has its turns, and you should always be prepared for that. Wow, a Nepo baby doesn't know how to function when his money doesn't talk. A tale as old as time. What will you do if something happens to the job or your dad's company? You've had years to sock away a good chunk of your money into savings, yet you haven't done so. The sun doesn't shine forever. You need to start being responsible financially. Don't plan that you'll have that income forever. Plan like it could end tomorrow. Not the idiot. If this story was about a regular doctor or other high-earning job and not a Nepo baby, it'd probably be not the idiot all the way down. Make this story about a female doctor and a boyfriend, a waiter, making the same comment, and see how the comments play out. They also started dating at 23 and are only 27. He also said he has 2 months of living expenses saved, so it's not paycheck to paycheck. He's fine. My 47 female, daughter 22, is still living at home since she graduated this spring. We're fine with it because she can save money from her first real job. It's tough out there, so we're trying to help her as much as possible. The conflict has arisen because she's very possessive of the food and drinks that she buys for herself. It's not like restaurant leftovers or anything. That's obviously hers, but she'll buy soda or cheese or sandwich meat, and she'll get mad if anyone else eats or drinks it. I would understand if she was buying all her own food, but she isn't. She still eats the food that my husband and I buy for the house, so she has no problem eating our food, but God forbid we touch hers. The last straw was last night. Her dad made himself a drink and used one of her tonic waters. She got upset that he drank her stuff. He apologized, but I had enough. I gave her 3 options. Either she starts buying all her food, which she can label and keep it in the fridge, freezer, and pantry. I will ensure neither her father nor I nor her brothers touch it. She can learn to share and appreciate that we're still feeding and housing her for free, or she can move out. She started crying that I was throwing her out for being upset that someone stole her food. I just told her that she had a week to decide. Her dad says I'm being rough on her and that she buys herself treats that aren't stuff that I buy all the time, and that may be so, but I still see her eating the groceries I buy for the house and not contributing. Not the idiot. She's 22 years old and crying over water? She needs to learn to pick her battles. She can buy a mini fridge, keep it in her room, and keep all her foodstuffs. Barring a medical condition where she needs this food specifically for her, she's acting like a spoiled child. She can pay rent if she wants to be treated like a housemate. An adult living in their parents' house for free, eating their parents' food, and getting angry at her dad for using the water she bought? That's beyond infantile. She should have offered to pay at least some small money when she got the job. Instead, she's acting like a primary school kid. Your options are fair. It's time to grow up. I really think context is important. Is she buying special food only she can eat, and y'all are eating it anyway? AKA vegan, gluten-free, etc. How much are you all eating foods and drinks that she gets for herself? Is she buying drinks she never gets to drink and food she never gets to eat? Breaking down and crying over a tonic water sounds like she's had a household eating all her treat food. You are the idiot. If anyone wants the stuff she buys specifically for herself, why is it not on the family grocery shopping list? Either you're okay with her staying with you rent-free and not contributing to groceries, or you need to reevaluate this. But don't steal her stuff. Just because she lives in your house doesn't mean she has no right to her own property. This is no different than you stealing other stuff from her, like clothes or jewelry. Many years ago, I was in a similar situation. I lived with my parents after college. Although I bought nearly all my own food, I was rarely around anyway. But I soon learned that if I bought cold cuts, they'd disappear quickly, as my dad liked to make huge sandwiches. And I was okay with that, as they let me live there. I just learned to split my order into 2 packages and hide one in the vegetable drawer. My dad never touched the vegetable drawer.